Hello everyone. Today we are going to be working on the Excel project 2, the loan repayment project. So the first thing you want to do is download the instructions and download the template. Both of which are going to come up to these down here normally. So you can open up both of those, the instructions and the template. Of course, Microsoft Office is going to open up both of these. I will pause it to wait until they load. Alright, so both of them have loaded. And so for the Excel, the template, we'll hit Enable Editing. Alright, all set there. And Microsoft Instructions. We won't hit Enable Editing on this one because we don't need to edit it. So as you can see right here, highlighted, it says the instructions of student loan data tab sheet. So that one over here on your template, you're going to go student loan data. Click on the hyperlink in cells A3 to G3 to access the Fair State Admissions loan page. Click that right there. Let that load. Looks like that here it pops up. So now what we want to do is, you notice right here it says the IM and your federal direct loan information. In this cell right here, B5, you're going to use this drop down menu to select whether you are a dependent or independent student. Now this is based off your tax bracket, and if you claim your own taxes or someone else claims you on their taxes, most students are going to be dependent, but depending on which one you do and who you are, you may be independent. So I'm just going to go dependent on this one. As you can see, there are blue boxes throughout the page. Those are the boxes you're going to be filling information in. So for the fixed rate for undergrad students, this box in B7 right here, you're going to go over to your hyperlink that you just opened up, and it says 5.05 for undergrad students. So type 5.05. It's already formatted as a percentage, so you don't have to worry about formatting anything on this one. Next, the loan origination fee, right here, two more underneath, right here, 1.069. So type that, 1.069. Also formatted as a percentage. So on that, you don't have much to worry about over there. And now we move on to the limit for subsidized loans, which you just go down here, all the way down here, and what you're going to do is add up the subsidized loans for each of the 4 years, and that's going to give you 19,000, right? And you're going to do the same thing for your unsubsidized loan, which is going to be 8,000. Right there, just like that. So notice how these aren't formatted as currency. So click the unsubsidized box, the one that has 19,000 in it. Hold Control on your keyboard. Click this one that has 8,000 and go to currency with 2 decimal places, just like that. Down here, cost to drop a class. That you may have to look up, but knowing off the top of my head, tuition is $4.21 per credit hour for undergrad students normally. Number of credit hours right here, so we're just gonna assume that it goes that you're dropping an ISIS 105 class, which happens to be 3 credit hours. Over here it shows up how much you paid for the class for the semester. Down here, assume you graduate after 4 years, as you took this class as a freshman, and you're going to take 10 years to pay it off, so your number of years is 14 at a 5.05% interest rate. This is how much you're actually going to be paying back to the federal government. Same thing over here with the 20-year plan, 24 months, the 5.05% interest rate. This is how much you're going to be paying back. So over 4 times as much if you pay on a 20 years, and over double if you're paying on a 10-year payment. So over here, you see these blue boxes again. Means you're going to fill those in, and you just take this table over here from the hyperlink, and you input the subsidized and unsubsidized loans. So 3,500, 4,500, 5,500, and 5,500 for subsidized, and for unsubsidized it's 2,000 for each, just like that. And you're done with the first tab. Now you go over here to the My Loan Amount right here. You can now exit out of the hyperlink that you already got to and bring the instructions back up. So that's done with the student loan data sheet. Now we're going to move on to the My Loan Amount sheet. And as you can see, this right here looks about the same as you just had. But don't worry about that just yet. First, you're going to go here in cell A. Notice how it's merged and centered. Right here, you're going to change the For Your Name here to Your Name right up here. Just like that. The year I started was 2015, so that's the first year I'm going to put. If you start in 2018, 2017, this is the first year you're going to put here. And you're going to continue on for each year you've been. I'm graduating in 2018, May of 2019, so the loan goes through 2018, the 2018-2019 year. Same thing you just did on the student loan data sheet. You're going to input for each year, so freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. And you're going to input the amounts. So $3,500, $4,500, $5,500, and $5,500 for subsidized, and $2,000 for the unsubsidized. Now, if you are not taking out federal loans for this, you're going to want to put in this for the maximum just so you can see the difference in it. So this is 27 grand total. Right here, your interest rate. It says over here on the instructions that you want to fill in cell C9 with cell B7 from the student loan data sheet. So in order to reference another cell, you're going to use equals, go over to the student loan data sheet, go over here where it says the fixed rate for undergrad, click that box and hit enter. It brings you back to your normal tab that you were on. Next, we'll do a 10-year payment option for if you wanted to pay back your loans in 10 years. So to do that, you're going to do a PMT function. And the key word that I just said was function. Anytime you're going to insert a function or a reference, you always start with equals. And then you can go over to the formulas, hit insert function, and type PMT, go. And it's going to bring up a PMT function right here. So in your argument box, you're going to do the rate, which is right here, your interest rate. Click the cell, don't input the number, and divide that by 12 because the 5.05 is per year. There's 12 months in a year. Your NPER is your number of payments for the loan. So 10 years, 12 months in a year, 10 times 12 is 120 payments. Now your PV value is your present worth or how much that you're borrowing. This over here is the total right here. Again, click the cell, don't type in the number. Notice how this doesn't have anything in front of it. This will make your payment as a negative value. So in order to change that, we put a negative sign in front of the value, in front of the cell we selected. And then once that, you leave the FV and the type box empty and hit OK. That brings your total to $287.04 payment each month for 10 years. So again, you can do the same thing for 20 years. Insert a PMT function. So start with equals, insert function, PMT. Normally it's going to be right here, especially if you just used it. Hit OK. The rate again is going to be your interest rate box divided by 12. Your number of payments, this time it's for 20 years. 12 months and 1 year times 20 years is 240 payments. And again, your PV is going to be the amount that you borrowed, which is right here. Again, to keep the payments as a positive amount, we're going to put a negative sign in front of that. And just like that, you have your payments for 10 years and your payments for 20 years. The year I stop attending school and start paying off the loan, it's going to be the year you graduate. So I graduate in May of 2019, so I'll put 2019 right there. I will borrow, which is how much your loan is going to be worth, so you want to reference your total amount. Again, the key word there is reference. So you're going to hit equals, and right here your total amount, $27,000. And the amount you will pay off in 10 years is going to be your 10-year payment times the number of months in 10 years. So in order to do that, that's just a multiplication function, keyword function, equals your 10-year payment multiplied by 120 months. right there. You do the same thing for the 20-year payment. Simple multiplication function equals your 20-year payment times 240 months. Notice the difference here. You're going to be paying more than what you borrowed. That's the interest. So over here is what you're going to calculate. If I pay it off in 10 years, I will pay interest of, and that's equals your amount for 10 years minus the amount you borrowed. So you're paying almost $7,500 just on interest on a 10-year payment. On a 20-year payment, it's going to be more, and to do that, you just insert the simple subtraction function. Again, equals the amount you're going to pay off in 20 years minus the loan amount. So you're paying almost $16,000 interest on a 20-year loan payment than you would normally. And that does it for the My Loan Amount sheet. And we'll go to the My Payments for 10 years sheet. Notice I got rid of the instructions as I'm showing you guys the instructions. So the year, again, 10-year loan payments for your name here. Change the your name here to your actual name. And right here, where it says year, over here in A3, you want to insert the year that you're going to start paying off the loans. So that's going to be equals, because you're referencing a different cell. You're going to go back to the My Loan Amount, and right here, the year I stop attending and start paying off is this one right here, and click Enter. Now, this is not an absolute reference, so if you drag it down, it's going to change to a different cell reference. So what you want to do is go back up here to A3 and make this an absolute reference by adding $ before and after the letter. This locks in the cell it's searching for, right here, $. And then you can drag this down for the first 12 months. So it's already in month 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Notice how they all stay the same. Now in A15 right here, you want to insert a function that adds 1 to cell A3. So keyword was function, which means equal sign. A3 plus 1. Now you have a function in here that's going to reference each cell. So as you drag it down, it'll reference the same. It'll reference cells to create the number of years. So on this one, you're going to drag it all the way down till you get to 120 months. Right there. In the month, you'll type 1 because this is your first month paying, and 2. Notice the increment change of 1. Microsoft Excel recognizes that there's a pattern of an incremental change of 1. So you grab your fill handle and just drag it down till it says 120. Just like that goes there. Your balance beforehand is going to be the amount you borrowed. So you're referencing the amount you borrowed. Keyword there is reference equals my loan amount. The total over here, $27,000. Enter. Now your payment function is going to be referencing your 10-year payment. So again, keyword is reference equals my loan amount, your 10-year payment, and hit enter. This one again, you want to make it an absolute reference so that it stays the same throughout the entire spreadsheet. So again, a $ before and after the letter to lock down each of them, and hit enter again. Now your interest rate is going to be an IPMT function. So an inserted function equal sign, insert function, IPMT, right there. So that your rate is going to be the same rate we've been using, which is right here on the My Loan Amount tab, cell C9, 5.05%. Click that. Make sure this is an absolute reference, so when the formula moves down, it will stay referencing that interest rate. $ before and after the letter, and divide this by 12 to find your interest rate per month for the payment. Your per is going to be 1. This is because each month it's changing, so it's one period for that interest rate. Your NPER is going to be your number of payments. So for 10 years, 12 months in a year, 120 payments. Your PV is going to be right here in cell C3, your $27,000. Just like on the last tab, you want to put a negative in front of this to make sure your payment amount is a positive, or your interest rate is positive. So hit enter, and that's the interest rate you're going to pay off. So your balance after is a simple addition function, so equals your balance before minus your payment plus the amount of interest that's accumulated, and hit enter. So that's your first row. Now your balance before at the next month is going to be the ending balance for last month. So you're going to reference the balance after in this cell. So again, the keyword is reference. So equals this cell right here. Enter. Now what you can do is you can drag the payment amount using the fill handle down 1 and the interest rate down 1 along with the balance after by 1. Now that everything is selected in the same row, you can highlight the entire row, so C4 to F4, and on the fill handle just double click and it will automatically fill everything down the row just like that, and your balance at the end of 10 years should be 0. And that does it for the My Payments for 10 years amount. And what you want to do is select cells A2 or A3 through F122, so select your entire amount of data and copy it. So when you hit Control-C or copy, this box comes up around it. You can move to the My Payments for 20 years, and right here in cell A3, paste it over. It's going to automatically go down for you. So now what you want to do, notice how this is only for 10 years. So you want to keep dragging column A down for another 120 months. Just like that. And now you want to select cells B121 and 122 so Excel knows that there's still an incremental change of 1. Grab the fill handle down here in the corner and scroll all the way down until you reach 240, just like that. And now you scroll all the way back up to the top. Your balance before is still going to be the same, but your payment is no longer the same value in C10. If you refer back here, it's C11. So on your My Payments for 20 years, just go to the first row that has data in column D and change the 10 to an 11, just like that. And right now with this one's fixed, you can double click the fill handle and it will automatically fill everything else down. Your IPMT function, again, all you have to do is make one slight change on that, and instead of 120 payments, so 10 years worth, there's going to be 20 years worth. So in the formula bar, you can just change the 120 to a 240 and hit enter. Now nothing changed because it's still the same amount. So double click the fill handle. Again, nothing's going to change. So on that one, notice how you still have a balance right here on row 122. So again, you can select cells C122 through F122 and double click the fill handle and it will drag it the rest of the way down to your payment of 240 months or 20 years. Now right here, notice how your balance is 0. If your balance is not 0, you're going to want to double check something as there's a wrong equation or a wrong formula or something that's not correct. And that's all. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.